Risky.
Welcome back, everybody. What is up? Your boy Gray right here. It's Tekken 8 season. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. I can't even explain it. Like, for real. I'm vibrating on a higher frequency right now, right? So I just want to talk about Tekken a little bit. Talk about Tekken 8. Talking about, some of people's expectations for the games. My expectation for the game, all these little things. So, hit a like, hit a sub. Let's just move right on into it. So, first of all, let's talk about how gorgeous this game is, right? Actually using Unreal Engine 5, rebuilding these models from the ground up. Smartest play ever. I hear people that complain. They're like, oh no, they reuse some of the animations from Tekken 7. And I'm like, get out of here. You have no idea how animation works. You have no idea the work that goes into making these things sync up and be able to interact with one another. Come now. Also, no, this game looks nothing like Tekken 7, dude. Like, this is leaps and bounds and miles ahead. Looking at the backgrounds, looking at the characters themselves, looking at the individual bones that are in their clothing and the way they move. You're crazy. The way that things interact with the wind. Stop it. It is absolutely beautiful. Like, really, it's absolutely. I've been playing Tekken since Tekken 1, and I remember thinking that game was the best looking game that I ever seen in my life. And if you go back and you look at it, it ain't that good. However, this is gorgeous. Even if you're fighting in water, all of a sudden your textures change to appear wet. It's really, really great. We have interactions between all these different characters, specialized interactions, which I'm always a fan of in fighters. I think it adds a lot of personality to the game. I'm here for it. And so all the particle effect, like, this game looks really good. And so let the haters hate, whatever. The game's presented in a beautiful fashion. Everything feels dynamic, everything feels explosive. Even just like navigating through the menu screen, everything feels really, really good. It feels really snappy. Now, I've played the closed beta test, and of course I played the demo as well, and everything just feels great, man. Your options are there. Now, I've heard that there's no spectating in a room match, which that would be weird. I don't have the game yet. I wasn't lucky enough to get a code or the game or anything, but I hope that's not the case, but we'll see. As far as like playing the game, like, as a Tekken fan, and going to Tekken, I have a lot of friends that aren't into 3D fighters or Tekken specifically, because it does require a lot of legacy knowledge, and they guide you in here. They really do. They guide you in. They actually take the time to explain how every button works, how all the mechanics work, which is really cool. You can even use Super Ghost Battle and fight against people's ghosts, and you can even, if you're watching somebody's replay, you can jump into the replay and correct a mistake in the replay. Like, that's next level madness to me. Like, that's crazy. It's crazy just to be able to do that on the fly and do that forever. So that's gonna be a monumental boon to everyone's skill level. Fast forward a few years, and our tournaments are gonna be looking wacky. They're going to be looking crazy. Character selection is, well, we're starting with 32. And that's another thing that a lot of people like to complain about, which I find interesting, is that, like, their character didn't make it in, which is okay. There's 32 characters, but they'll be like, oh, well, they're leaving this character out. They're leaving Eddie out, right? And then they're like, no, Eddie's in. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, do y'all not look at, as fighters, as members of the FGC, do you not look at the way that fighting games are developed in a present sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, the game drops, and then it's grown upon for years. So the odds are very likely that you will see your favorite character come down the pipeline at some point in time. All right, I have little to less hope for Armor King. I hope that it happens. Some leaks, quote leaks, say Armor King's supposed to happen, but that's one of my boys, so I hope for that. I hope for the Julia Chan as well. I would love some Julia. I would take the Return of Michelle, but I think she did, right? Yeah, she did. But no, there's tons of characters to choose from, depending on your play style, depending on what it is that you want, what it is that you think looks cool. And I say go with that. Like, if you're a new Tekken player, if this is not something that you normally do, 3D fighters aren't something that you normally play, just pick somebody who looks cool. Don't look at the tier list or the metric. Who cares about all of that, man? People, they ruin something before it can even flourish. Don't be a part of that crowd. Be a part of this crowd. We have the power. Like, share, sub. You know what it is. But no, I can't wait. Victor, I can't wait to play Victor. I cannot wait to touch Victor. Like there's some like Kunimitsu in there a little bit. Like some Raven in there a little bit. Like characters like that. Reina, I can't wait to play as Reina. And so I'm super hyped. We're gonna have some stuff. Like the game sounds amazing. The soundtracks, they all slap. You know that Tasty Steve. Womp 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 wow. Like we get a lot of that wub wub in here, but we also get a lot of other like world flavors, which is really, really cool. The music just slaps. The audio, all the hits feel impactful. They feel really, really heavy. Like when you hit somebody, you hit somebody, which is really, really cool to me. I'm a big fan of it, especially like during your like heat engagers or whatever. The heat system is one of those things that I think might be not crippling. It just might it might limit the scope of the game in the long term. But that's me being an old head and wanting to see Tekken 7 or Tekken 8, as I saw Tekken 7. And so I think that it's very, very fun up front. I also, unfortunately, think that it favors more aggressively driven characters, like your Mishimas, Dragunov, whatever. Characters that don't require any kind of setup. Ling Xiao Yu, you get your momentum running and it's great. But you got to get into AOP in the first place, right? Which means that you might catch a boot to the face, which could equate to a 50% combo. And so it gets a little dicey in there. You try to step something and then all of a sudden, boom, and now you're being comboed. And so I worry for that, but I think that once the game drops and, we can all play it, I can get it into my hands, maybe that part won't be so. I've loved Ling since Tekken 3. That's one of my guilty pleasures. Even though she's not really the strongest in Tekken 7, I still like to play her. But playing her in Tekken 8 is scary. It's very scary when you have a Paul Phoenix staring down your throat. It's scary business. So you have to be on yours. However, if you practice it, if you train, then the odds are very likely that you might be able to handle anything. And so, there are tricks in there as well. I can't wait to see it. The game educates you well on what it is that it expects from you. You have tutorials for everything. You've got an arcade mode or an arcade story battle that you go through with your avatar, conquering the arcades. Something that may resonate more with an older crowd than with a younger crowd. Younger crowd might see it as a cool thing to do, but an older crowd, who actually were in arcades, right? I grew up in arcades, man. That was a special moment in my history. I met so many friends, you know, just shoulder to shoulder playing this game. Some of them stank, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of a sudden you walk up to the controller, you're like, hey, it's open, put up your quarter, boom, it's your turn, and the dude next to you is funky. You know, and you gotta fight through that, you know, so you learn survival skills as well. It's just kind of crazy. But I think that the mode is a good idea. I think it's really cool. A lot of fighters currently kind of insist upon their lobby systems, which I don't know why that's the thing, which I guess, you know, like, I mean, some people like that. It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever it is. You know, just give me a lobby, give me some friends, let's get to work. But it's also a cool way to dress up your character, walk around, show off, emote to people, and maybe make some new friends. And so I'm with that life too. I can make the adjustment. You know, like, overall, I think this is a really good package. I think Tekken 8 is about to go crazy. I think Tekken 8 is about to go ham. And I think a lot of people aren't prepared for it. You know, I think Street Fighter 6 is fine. I think Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising is magnificent as a 2D fighter. But what Tekken is bringing to the table is true next gen. And what next gen could look like, and what next gen could be like, and what it could feel like. And I hope that more new players come into the fold for sure. But I hope that they stick with it. And I can't wait to see what this game is going to look like 3, 4, 7 years down the line before our next iteration. Because these matches are going to be crazy. Anyway, thank you, Harada. Thank you, Michael Murray. Thank you, Bandai Namco. I'm super hype. I'm too hype. Yeah, that brings us to the end of the video. I'm watching this footage and it's making me go a little ham. Hey, like, share, sub, do all the cool things that cool people like you do. Let me know who you're going to run in Tekken 8. I'm going straight for Victor. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Love y'all forever. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I've noticed that nobody has subscribed as far as the viewership. There are views and no subscribers, and I could use the boost. I'd love to be able to do this for more time than I do. But who cares about that right now? I'm talking about Tekken. Love y'all forever. We have the power. Peace.